Hello friends, today is the 27th of November 2017, and today I want to speak about interesting things which are related to family uh, and making mistakes and childness in adult ages, and I will illustrate these things by examples, by my life examples. About The agenda is mistakes with the child, different hours of parents. If parents have different I mean biofield, which is correspond to the human being, and how it relates to others human beings fields. Childhood in adult age, about responsibility for someone's decisions, and examples about debt, about a friend which can ask you some money to get for some period of time. And the second example about family, when someone can promise to you some flat or something like like this, some big amount of money, something like this. And here we start about mistakes with the child, about in general, about error correction. In our schools we have traditional system which teach us in a quite not good way. There are some marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you behave good, if you learn good, you have good marks, and if you fail some tests or some homework, you can get bad marks. And also, if you make some mistakes, you also get some bad marks. And this forms in our mind, in our mind maps, the principle that in our future life, in our life, we can't do any mistakes, and if we do some mistakes, then it is very bad, and it is not possible to live in this way. And it is very wrong concept, because the real life, the real aims which somebody wants to achieve, always have mistakes on the way to the aims. Always someone will be doing some mistakes, and this is a life, this is okay. You can collapse 7 times, but you have to stand up 8 times. This is like some saying in Russian. Maybe in other countries there is something similar. And mistakes is normal, errors is normal. And for example, I have interesting example with my child. My woman and I have different opinions about our child. Uh, my woman sees that there should be no any mistakes with a child, and I think based on my previous consideration, that it is okay also with a child to be some to get some to do some mistakes. It is okay, it is life, it is normal. It is not impossible to be the perfect parents with the first child. It is not possible, and I have also many mistakes with a child. Many years ago I started to invest in myself. I started to do self-development of myself. I was a vegetarian. I was a raw food eater. I had some fasting diets. I had sports. I researched many interesting ideas, and also I wanted to improve the life of my child, of my son, because he had the problems with health, and I need to investigate how to help him. And I found some things about also raw food, that it is very good to clean up body, to get rid of some diseases. And I also wanted to introduce these new things in the life of my child. And of course I had some mistakes, had some errors. For example, when my son was about 2 years, he had disease like bronchial asthma, and also he had some allergies. And when he was 2 years, I gave him the nut, and I given him walnut. And he had allergy after this, and he had to call emergency, and they helped us by treating our child. And this is general information that for children it is prohibited to give nuts. And okay, I didn't know this, and I made mistake. And I think that it is okay. In the result with the child, it is okay. And after some time, about maybe 2 months later or 3 months later, I decided to try another nut, not a walnut, but American walnut, American version of walnut, different kind of nut. A small piece of this nut I decided to give him once more, to see maybe he already treat himself, and maybe it will be okay, maybe it will be fine. But also there was similar symptoms, but in not as like as it was in first time. The symptoms was low, and it's because of quantity. I gave him not a big piece, and we also called emergency, but without treatment, but this time without injection. And my woman was very stressed by this situation, and she said that it is not possible, it can't be that she can't believe me after this. And also there was another situation, maybe a bit earlier, maybe a bit later, I don't remember. The situation relates to also to meal, to green raw buckwheat, and the child eaten this product, and he had not very good symptoms in not in stomach, in guts. There were like there were bubbles in feces, and women said that the experiments cannot be performed under children and under our child. And it was trying to heal the child, and there were tryings, but yes, but there were mistakes, and it is all I understand that it is not good, but I learn from these experiments that these results take place, and it is not possible to consider all factors, and because of this don't do anything, and leave the child in the bad state like it was. I mean with his not good health. And I think that it is okay to make mistake, but this depends on what kind of mistakes. Yes, of course, life shouldn't be damaged, but some small not very important mistakes which is not related to living abilities, I think it is okay. The parents must be learning from these experiments, and in this way, and only through this way, it is possible to learn how to treat children, how to grow up children, and so on. And when you have another child, second child, third child, fourth child, it is much simpler. You can produce a bit little mistakes with each child, with each new child you allow a bit little mistakes, and eventually you understand everything, how to do, how to behave, how to treat children. You win eventually. So this is a way, and only this way can be used to go to success. So the next point about different hours of parents. I felt that when parents have different opinions on some things, it is also felt, it can be it is the person feels that he has some different opinions, and if you have a child which listen to the speech of the parents, he also feels the difference of opinions. He feels the difference of areas, hours of parents, and he is the child's behavior are not good in this case, because he don't understand to whom he can believe, to mother or to father, and this is very bad when parents had different opinions on some things. This is very bad. What can be done in this situation? I don't know exactly, but something must be undertaken. I don't know exactly now how it can be aligned, how these opinions can be aligned between mother and father, between parents. But this is very important thing. The next one, childhood in adult age. Interesting topic that many adults is not responsible for their lives, for their decisions, and it is a kind of childhood. It is a kind of childness in the adult age, and I has the following examples. For example, I had a situation about 2 or 3 years ago, when my friend of mine asked me to give him some money, and he asked me pretty much amount of money, and this was the person, my friend. He was I knew him. We studied with him together in the school, and we communicated with each other, and I knew him, and I understood. He explained me the situation, why he needed the money, and I understood that he had some girl, and girl asked him to find money, and they had problems, and I understood that money can be given, but but it is very high possibility that money won't be returned. And friend asked that he returned money in about several months, and understood. Okay, I understood that it is very much amount of money that he is from his initial request. There was very big amount of money, and I said him that I couldn't give you so much money. I can give you this amount. I propose. I proposed smaller amount of money that for me was not so very important. I could give this money just for nothing, for just for nothing, without return, with never return, and it was okay for me, but I didn't say this. My friend assured me that he will return to me this amount of money in about, I don't remember exactly, in about 3 months. And after 3 months he called me and said that he couldn't return, and I understood the situation, and I said that it is okay, you can return me when you can. So, and after 2 years, approximately 2 years, he was very stressed. He written me that he don't have money, that he can't return me money, and I said him, okay, it's okay, you can return me when you can. And eventually, after about 2 years, I said to him that you can never return me this amount of money. It is okay, you can just relax. And he was very thankful to me for this situation, that I helped him. And eventually, after 2 months approximately more, he returned me this amount of money. And what is the conclusion of this situation? I behaved myself like an adult. I understood the situation. I understood that the money that I gave could not be. It is high possibility that money cannot be returned back. And I agreed on this situation. I agreed to nevertheless to give money and agreed that money will not be returned back. But if they will be returned if they will be returned, then it is good. So and I take responsibility for this decision to myself, and I carry on this responsibility. I didn't argue with this man that you very bad person, that you couldn't return me my money, and why you couldn't return, and so on, because I understood the situation, and I take my responsibility. I can initially give very much amount of money, and I can be nervous. And I can ask each day when, and it is quite childness, as I see. Okay, and the last example with family, and with the promise of giving some flat. It can be related to giving some much amount of money, or some promise of something, some automobiles, something like this, or flat. And this example is related to flat. And here's the situation. There is a family, man, woman, and a child, living in a one-room flat, and there is some change. There is a family which has a problem with a space, because for three persons it is quite hard to live in one room flat. It is obvious. And here another flat in which is living grandma of son of this man, and here this family works for this family, and here the situation with changing place of grandma, because when the family is not existing, when this man was lived with grandma, with his mother, this place, this flat was in different location, quite far from this home, and in order to bring grandma a bit nearly to the place where child will be living, and where the son is living, there is a need to change a flat on another one in which is placed in the house that is placed in location near with house with family. and there is a change, and additional money required to this change was required, and it was the decision of these two persons, a man and a woman, in order to help or not to help to perform this change, to bring mother more nearly to them, more closely. And there was a decision that maybe mother was maybe mother changed their flat to closer one, to nearer one, and after some time in the future these families, yes, it would possible to say so, can be changed by their flats to in order to three persons living in a more in a flat with a more amount of rooms, and grandmother initially agreed to change, and also she was agreed to live together in the new flat, and there was a decision which there was a decision that was accepted by the man and the woman here in this family, and the man agreed to give some to work to make some money in order to add this money to changing of flats, and the responsibility was taken by this person and this person, woman and man, and money was made. The changing of place were performed, were done. Grandma came more closer, and when time goes, when several years passed by, this family asked to change to change by places with grandmom, and grandma refused because she got used to this new flat. There is many things in this flat, and this man and this woman were upset. They were upset because there was another agreement, and about childness and responsibility. The situation like here, it is quite normal, because I think now so that it is quite normal, because it is okay when someone is living in his or her home, and this person get used to this place, and it is hard to perform some changes. And moreover, the grandma asked this family to come live with she, but it is this proposal was refused by man and woman, and after this, son and grandma, it's okay. The relationships is okay, because son can live here with mom, and this is okay. And there was a bad relationships between women, between these women and these women, because the expectations from this side were not satisfied, and this about also about responsibility. Something can be changed through the life, and it is okay, and you have to see further. You have to see. You can initially you must initially understand that there can be many cases, and you have to be responsible for all of the results when you take some decision, and it is okay, and it is really this behavior is like adults when you foresee different cases, and so the conclusion that everyone must be responsible for any consequences. And now this is here it is not good relationships, because I think that because it depends on childness, because the situation is not foreseen as good as it can be. So when you decide something, when you take some decision, be dependent on yourself, because life can be changed. So here I am finishing. Thank you very much for being with me. Hello from Moscow. Bye bye for now. Wish you good luck, wish you good life, wish you healthy life and worthy life. Wish you good luck. Bye bye.